been sitting on the floor cuddling Nip, and now I've got pins and needles. Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I'm going to be tackling the front and back covers of my new 6x8 Traveller's Notebook Journal for the Mission Inspiration Challenges for 2024. Take a breath, Mike. Okay, so let me turn over to my overhead camera and I'll show you what I'm going to do. If you missed the vlog this week, you will have missed the reveal of the two new MDF Laser Cut Kits. Well, it's not two kits actually, it's one, because you're actually going to get both of these two sheets in with your kit. So there's a what I call an escutcheon plate. Well, it is an escutcheon plate, it's just missing the handle bit where the handle's supposed to come through. So there's four screw heads just for decoration. There's a keyhole cover. There's also a circular border for the hole on this one, and there's also the decorative frame that goes around and sand. Hello, Mr. Nip Nips, woken up again. That goes on this piece here. There's also a collection of word keys, as you can see: explore, believe, dream, love, courage, and imagine. So those are the two sheets. They're laser cut, they're tabbed, as you can see, so they don't fall out. It's just really for protection whilst it goes through the post. They're really easy to pop out, as you'll see in a second. So let me just pop those to one side, because they're my photography sets. And I'll show you just exactly how easy these things are to pop out. So this is one of the escutcheons. I've already popped out the circles. And literally, they're so, there you go, look, they're just that easy to pop out of the sheet, just like so. Now don't worry if this snaps, because you're not using that bit. That's just a little carrier for this. So just with your nail or the point of a pokey tool or even the point of a pencil, you can just pop them out. There you go, just like that. So if you're in any doubt as to where the tabs are to push, just hold them up to a light and you can actually see through, and you can see where the actual catches are. So if you hold them up to the window or hold them up to your kitchen or craft room light, you'll be able to see. So like I said, don't worry if that bit breaks, because that's just rubbish anyway. So it's the circle, the four faux screws, and then the border. So I can see it's just about there. So I'm just looking at where the tabs are, and there's one there. I'm just popping with my nail, and there's also one just there. There we go. How easy was that, look? And then that one, obviously it's just one big sheet, so you can just go around and pop that way. So the way it builds is that's your base plate, that gets glued onto there like so, that then sits in them on there, that then goes on there, and then you've got your four decorative screw heads. And obviously the same with the keys. So there's your keys. Now then, I thought there was 6, so I'm missing one. There it is. Explore was missing, so there you go. And you just do the same thing with the keys. Just pop them out with your nail. Dead easy like. Okay, so now that we've got all those out of the sheets and you can see how easy they are, like I said, they both come in the pack, so you'll get everything. Let me just have a quick tidy up. This is my Mission Inspiration Journal, and I'll just show you how they compare in size to the journals. So they're going to sit really nicely on that front cover, and then I'll decide. I think probably it's going to be Imagination, I think, or maybe even Explore. I might even do 2. I might even do both, one up and down, one down, like that. So let me have a quick tidy up. I'll get some paints out and then we'll get cracking on decorating the journal. I'm back. So I've removed all the pages from the Mission Inspiration journal. So that's just the elastic for the traveller's bit. So that's the front cover and this is the back cover. So what I need to do first of all is I need to glue everything down where it needs to go on the page. So I've got some PVA glue, some school glue. I'm hoping, let's just get a bit of scratch paper. Should have got some of this out first, all shouldn't I really? Just a couple of sheets will do. There we go. Right. Just so I can make sure that the glue is, there we go. That's it, it's free flowing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the base plate first. Now I've got to make sure that I have got this kind of in the middle. I am going to be painting over the fabric, so it is going to kind of disappear and blend a bit into the background, so that's okay. So that's about halfway, I would have said. So that should do. So I'm going to glue everything on first and then paint, rather than paint and then glue. So with this being wood, MDF and PVA glue, it will stick quite quickly. So are we in the middle-ish? Doesn't matter if we're a little bit off. There we go. So that's nicely stuck down there. So the next bit, I'm going to have to, actually let's stick that circle down first. Now because this is PVA glue, it will dry clear, but also remember that we are going to be painting as well. So I do have a little bit of an emery board. Now, what I should have done is just take off any of the little excess bits where the tabs were, but there's not many. It's only a couple. They are very, very small. They're less than half a millimetre, less than a 16th of an inch. Right, okay, now has that stuck? No. Right. The reason I've taken it off, because I've just remembered I wanted to add something underneath it, didn't I? And I need to measure to make sure I've got the right size. Actually, no, that's fine. I don't need to, do I? Alright, so the next thing, I'm thinking ahead and thinking to myself, oh, should I have done that first? No, I shouldn't have done it first. It's fine. Okay, so the next, we'll put the keyhole guard. Okie dokes. Oh, butterfingers. Go down on that. If you want to remove all the glue beforehand, if you're really feeling it, then just grab a brush. Like I said, it will disappear anyway. There you go. Once it's dry, it'll go clear, and then you're going to be painting over the top. So that's it. Right, and then we'll go a little bead all the way around. So quite a few of you have bought these covers and are using the journals along with me this year. I would love to see some photos of what you're doing with the kits, the journaling kit, the cover kits. I would love to see how you're decorating yours. Unless you were waiting for me to do mine. That's it. Just making sure that I've got it all lined up properly. Well, you don't have to be as precise as this, obviously. Certainly don't. Right, so let's grab some screw heads. Right, so for these, I'm just going to go into the corners, I think. Yeah, let's go into the corners. So I'm going to go onto the fabric up there. Just those little bits where the tabs were. It probably looks a bit odd at the moment because it's on the fabric and it doesn't look like it's in the corners. But once it's painted and the fabric is covered, you won't really see it. There'll be a bit of texture, but not a huge amount. Just texture from the actual fabric itself. And then into the corner. Now again, you don't have to do it so the screw heads are facing the right way. You could do them at a little bit of an angle. It just depends on how it offends your OCD. Or not. Okay, in fact, let me just twist that one round there, look. And people going, no, don't. All right, and then the keys. So I'm going to do Imagine. And I'll put that one down there. And then I will have Explore. I'll do that coming up this way. There we go. I think that'll do. It's not perfect. See, if you wanted to, you could then take another one and run it across the middle. Or you could do them across the top. But I'm going to keep those for another day. Right, what I need to do is I need to leave that now for a few minutes, just for the glue to grab, and that'll also give me a chance to go put the kettle on, and then I'll be back. Everything's now dried and set. It's been about half an hour, so I've given it plenty of time. So from my collection of paints, I've pulled out some browns and orange and a kind of turquoise. It's called Sea Aqua from Deco Art Americana. So this will make do for patina. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a coat or different coloured brown coats and oranges to give it a kind of rusty old kind of look. I'm just going to use the palette. Oh, and I should have shaken that up, shouldn't I? There we go. That's what happens when you don't use your paints for a while. So the brownish colours I've got are terracotta and honey brown. I have got some more to hand under my desk should I need to dip in for darker colours or even lighter colours. In fact, I might even have yellow ochre out there as well, just in case. So I'll give them all a quick shake up because I don't want this kind of thing happening again. Of course, every time you lose a bit of binder, you lose just a little bit of fluidity. There we go. But that's okay. Right. I'm going to put a fair amount down onto the desktop because I'm going to dip in and out of all the colours as I'm painting. There we go. So we'll start off with the darkest. I'm going to go straight in over the fabric, and I'm not going to worry about the elastic either. So we'll give it a quick sort of base coat. Because you're just going to be sat there watching me paint and layer, it's going to be kind of like watching, literally watching paint dry. So what I'll do is I'll pop it onto fast forward until I'm ready with kind of like the next step, if you like, in the whole process. And you'll see me dip in and out of the different colours as I'm covering and layering down. All right, I've had a little bit of a tidy up, a little bit of a clean around here, but I've not got rid of everything. I've kept that yellow ochre. I'm now going to just add in some orange tones along with some more yellow. So I'm just going to grab another brush. There we go. So I'm going to mix in some yellow and some oranges and just start to add a little bit of kind of surface patina, if you like. So this is kind of like the lighter layer after you've done your darker one. But bearing in mind, if you dry brush like I'm doing, it will kind of start to die back a little bit. It won't be as strong as when it first goes on. The orange is fairly sort of translucent, but as it dries, it will darken. Bit too much there, I think. Just transfer some of that onto the back. It's just adding a variety of colours and brush strokes just to kind of give you that broken texture, almost like a camouflage. The oranges on this kind of background, it just blends and becomes fairly sort of nondescript, almost disappears, which is fine. There we go. Certainly start to look rusty now. Because we put that dark chocolate into the letters, it does help to make them stand out a little bit. Okay, I think I'm happy with my rusty book. So, well, not completely happy. I haven't finished yet. So I'm going to get this dried off, get this lot cleaned up, and then I'll be right back for the next step. Everything's now dry. I've got a clean brush, and now I'm going to come back with that sea aqua. So we have a rusty effect looking book now. Front and back and spine are all kind of rusty looking. Yes, I know you're not going to get like verdigris patina on ordinary metal. All right, we're using artistic license. That usually only happens with copper. So yeah, artistic license. That's what we're employing today. So I've got some of that beautiful sea aqua. I'm going to take just a small amount on the brush. And then I'm going to start adding kind of rusty patina, verdigris sort of patina. I'm just trying to highlight the texture. And I'm just picking up a very, very small amount each time. And you'll start to see the detail being picked out. And of course, it will be lighter while it's still wet, and then as it dries, it'll die back a little bit. So don't be too frightened. And don't forget, if you do make a complete mess, just paint over it and do it again. You just add some more layers. So flat brush, you could maybe get away with using a filbert, but flat brushes are best. And try and keep it as flat as you can. And just build it up, small layer, a small layer at a time. And you'll see you start to pick up the texture from the brush strokes that you did earlier. So I'm getting a bit more bold now because I can see where it's going. And I'm just going to flip it round. So I can get into those corners up at this side. Conscious that I don't want to drag that through the corner. Now, bearing in mind the sides and the spine don't have a lot of decoration on them, so it's okay to go a little bit heavier with your patina. On the back and the spine. It's a real lovely kind of steampunky finish. loving it. If you've got any kind of resin molds or molds for resins that are like rusty pipes, this would work really well if you wanted to do a real kind of pipe and cog steampunky affair. And you can just keep on going and start building up and building up and building up and building up, and only stop when you think there's enough. But what I'm also going to do is I'm now going to grab some water, take some of that verdigris-ish paint, and now I'm going to just add a few splatters, just to kind of break it all up. And then on the back, because you haven't got much decoration, you can go heavier. And then maybe a couple of biggies on the front. Yeah. I think I'm going to stop there. Okay, let me have a quick tidy up, clean up, get this dried, and then I'll be right back. So I've given it a few minutes to kind of dry off a little bit. So now I'm going to come back with that little top secret thing. So what I've done is I've printed off a circle. 1 3/4 is the nearest size to get that to fit. So yeah, 1 3/4. If you've got an 1 3/4 punch, you should be fine. You'll just have to trim it down just a teeny tiny amount, just to get it to fit. All I did was go around the edges with an emery board, and that was enough, just to take off that tiny little bit. So we've got top secret, because it's for the mission inspirations. I'm just going around the edges just to get rid of that raw white, and then we'll get some glue and I'm just going to put a little bit in there. I've got a little second or two just to maneuver it, and I'm just going in with my finger. But what you could do after this all dries is you could go over with a coat of gloss Mod Podge if you want to give it a shine, or even glossy accent. there you go. So you could further, if you wanted to, add white splatters, add a white dry brush over the top, or even come back in if you wanted to with that yellow ochre, a nice little yellow ochre colour. But I like it as it is, and I think I'm going to leave it exactly there. So that is my journal cover for the Mission Inspiration Journal for 2024. So I hope you've enjoyed watching me create that today. If you have, please remember to give the video a thumbs up, share the video with your friends, and if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel already, then please do so by clicking the button at the end of the video. And don't forget, if you want to join us for our Mission Inspiration art challenges this year, I'll pop a thing on the screen here now, but there will be a clickable link in the description area below the video. If you're watching this on YouTube, if you're watching this on my blog, it will be just underneath the video anyway, as per usual. So like I said, that's it from me for now. I'll see you all again very, very soon. So all I have to do now is just to start adding in the pages back into my journal. Bye for now. I'd like to say a huge thank you to all of my angels, because without you, these videos would not be possible. And don't forget, you can access your exclusive angel-only content over on my website. There's a link in the description area below. Thank you.